My name's Jack Hughes and I'm the manager of the Business Enterprise Centre, and I'd like to welcome you all here tonight to our launch of our Territory Training Initiative. And it's really great, and I'd like you to give a warm welcome to the Minister for Business and Employment, Dr. Chris Burns, and our Hewlett Packard representative here tonight from Sydney, Grant Cleary. Grant's been able in us being able to get this initiative up and running with the help of HK, and I suppose before I say anything else, I'd just like to publicly acknowledge Grant's efforts and his assistance in getting us there. Just a little bit about it. I'm not going to bore you very much with the speech tonight. First and foremost, thank you very much for coming. It's great to see so many friendly faces here. But a little bit about the Business Enterprise Centre before we start, because there'll probably be some of you here tonight who don't know about us. We're an organisation that deals with people who are thinking about starting a business or who have just started. So if you know anybody that's thinking about starting a business or in the early parts of their business life, send them our way. We spend a lot of time talking to people about some of these things here. I'm not going to bore you with pull-ups, but people, when they think about starting a business, don't often know where to turn. They don't know who to ask the questions to. Do I need a business structure? What sort of business structure should I have? What sort of business planning should I do? Do I need a lease? How do I employ staff? And of course, one of the questions that inevitably arises is, how can I use technology, or where can I find some information out about technology? And I think it's a fact that most of you will agree that it's very difficult these days to run a business without some form of technology. And that's why we were really attracted to the HP proposal, the Micro Enterprise Development Scheme. It just allowed us to offer one more plank in the services we provide. That is some introductory type level of information about IT. And of course, most businesses these days generally will start off with using IT for email and communications, and then they'll perhaps use it for bookkeeping and a range of other things. But I suppose our view is that we want to try and take them forward a couple of steps and get them to understand that they can look for a lot more things than that, and they can drive their business a little bit further, a little bit farther. So we're in the early startup stage. The stuff we deliver generally is at that level. We're not, we don't compete with people who provide other training for courses, say on Word or Excel or any of those products. Our hope is that we'll bring those people into our organisation and say, look, you've got a bit more of an understanding now of what IT can do for you. Now perhaps you need some direct training in some of these other applications. So that's what we've got you here tonight to tell you a little bit about. And I'm not going to say much more other than welcome. And I'd like to introduce Dr. Chris Burns, the Minister for Business and Employment. The Business Enterprise Centre has had a long association with the Northern Territory Government, and it gives me great pleasure to ask Dr. Burns to say a few words and launch this. I know the Minister's got to rush off somewhere else, so we're giving him the opportunity to speak first.
Thank you. And thank you, Jack. It is a great opportunity, and as you've said, there's a long-term partnership between the Northern Territory Government and the Business Enterprise Centre, and to be fair, you also receive support from the Commonwealth. So, as you said to me one time, people starting off in business don't really care which government it is, they're really focused on the support, and I know the Business Enterprise Centre does give great support to people starting off in business, and as we're seeing here this afternoon, people who are willing to take those next steps. And I particularly also want to acknowledge sponsors here, apart from the Business Enterprise Centre. Of course, Black Magic, AJ here, and there you go. And of course, Craig from Hewlett Packard, which are doing a great job in supporting, and very interesting to see. I suppose you'd call it the laboratory there, is it, or the lab? Yep. The lab. Okay. Well, I'm very used to laboratories, but it does look like a laboratory to me, and I'm sure that a dozen or so people who are, I understand, have enrolled for the next course, they're going to grow in terms of the things that they learn. And basically, things that I've been told here, improve, and Jack alluded to it, improve communications, improve record keeping, improve knowledge management, and that's also very important. Improve marketing and expanded markets. So NT businesses now operate in a world economy. So it's really fitting that through these technology training initiatives, that people take that next step, and I'm sure a lot of business will take the opportunity through the support of Hewlett-Packard, Blackmagic of course, and Business Enterprise Centre to take those next steps. In conclusion, I've already mentioned HP Australia for providing funding and support through their HP Micro Enterprise Development Grant Program to allow the Business Enterprise Centre to deliver this particular program. So thanks Craig, Jack Hughes and his team from Business Enterprise Centre for running the program, and great facilities you've got here. And I've already mentioned AJ Kalatunga from Blackmagic ICT will be sharing his expertise by conducting the workshop. So all points to you also. And so without any further ado, I'll cut the imaginary and it's great to see so many people here along this evening, and it's been a privilege to come along and share in the event. So thanks for the invitation, and a big hand to all the
what I'd like to now is call on AJ to tell you a little bit about the program in a bit more detail, and then following AJ we'll just have a word from Grant as well about Hewlett-Packard and about their contribution as well. Over to you, AJ.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Minister, for those kind words. I guess I want to start off by saying those of us here in the Territory, we love our stories along with other things. And first of all, I have to offer the disclaimer that technology fails at the best of times. So this is one time that it's running a bit slow. Okay, so this is the beginning of it all, and I love this photo for two reasons. One, because I'm in it, and two, it represents sort of phase one, if you will, of this whole initiative that we started close to a year ago. The guy on the left there, my right, is Grant Carey from HP. Grant. And how all this started was we were at a conference in Perth, a small business development conference, and we had a great time. We consumed lots of cordial, and after lots of cordial, we said at the end of the night that we were going to work with each other, and we had no idea how or why or whatever would happen. And true enough to his word, he gives me a call a month later, and he says, "Hey, I have a problem." I said, "Mate, what do you mean you've got a problem? Tell me what the problem is." He said to me, "I have a bucket of money and I need to get rid of it. Can you help?" I said, "Sure, why not?" Because this is the HP Micro Enterprise Grant. It's comprising of cash, curriculum and hardware. So basically 20 PCs, $30,000 US, and a world-class curriculum. I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you have any ideas?" I said, "Yeah, heaps of ideas." He goes, "Tell me about them." And I said, "Well, I can't. I'll call you back." Put the phone down and said, "Geez, I need some ideas." So that's the truth. Anyway, so one thing I'm really passionate about was, as a consultant, you know, for those of us who are in IT, we always come across people who are, you know, don't really quite understand technology. It's one of the most misunderstood things in the world. Like, everyone thinks that you're in IT or you fix PCs, but it's so broad. You could be like a consulting person, you could be like a technology engineer, you could be like a web programmer, you could be an Excel specialist, you could just be a person that polishes computers. You're still in IT, you know? And so it's so misunderstood. So one thing I want to do is get it out there and educate people, educate small business owners on how to use technology to improve their business. So that's the first thing. Second thing is I'm really passionate about the youth, because youth are our future, and I'm young, relatively. And yeah, so I wanted to give something back to the youth. And the third thing is, like, there's a lot of, well, I couldn't think of a third idea, so I went to a couple of friends and I said, you know, this is what I want to do. I need something with Indigenous, something to do with Indigenous. And they said, "Mate, every time I fly out to the communities, they always ask me to fix their PCs." And I was like, "Well, why? Don't they have technicians out there to do it?" And these guys said, no, they don't. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take 2 Indigenous community champions and train them on how to build and maintain their own PCs so they can be self-sufficient in their communities. So those are the 3 phases. The phase 1 is small business owners, second one's youth, third one's Indigenous community champions. So I rang up Grant and I said, "Mate, I built that idea for you. And what do you think about it?" And he said, "Yeah, I love it." Cool, all right, well, you know, since we're dealing with small business owners, and I know Jack from BEC, it made a logical choice to approach him. And if you've heard of the phrase, "You can't teach an old dog new tricks." Well, I went to Jack and I said, "Mate, I've got this crazy idea, I reckon it'll work." And he said, "You really want to do this?" I said, "Yes, I about it. And he's like, all right. He went away, thought about it, and he said,